In the last video, we talked about organising the tracks, putting them in the right order and colour coding them in order to prepare for mixing. The next thing we're going to talk about is some weird anomalies you've got to check for, which is mono and stereo tracked, good lord. Okay, so what I'm going to do is at the moment they all look mono, but if I zoom in a bit more, you can see certain tracks are showing as stereo. Now, the reason why some tracks should be stereo, obviously, and the reason and some tracks shouldn't be stereo but are showing as stereo, and the main reason that that happens is that, for example, on these kick tracks, if you've got a number of tracks and then you pan them, when you bounce down tracks, if there's a panning on them, it shows them as stereo when they wouldn't necessarily need to be stereo. So for example, and some things should be stereo, so you need to check them. So the first thing we'll do, I'll show you one that should be stereo, which is the room mic. And we add a multimeter. So if we go down to metering, add a multimeter. And if I just play this section and solo this track, you should be able to hear it in a second. So you can hear the overhead. You can see that it's pretty much in phase. The room, sorry, it's in phase. And if we look at the goniometer, it is a stereo track because you're getting left, right, forward and back, okay? But then if we take that off and we go and look at this one here, for example, and I put a multimeter on this one, first of all, I know that most kicks aren't panned, so because they've got 3 here, they probably just panned it a little bit, and when they've bounced it down, it's come down. But if we look at this one, and if I put this on, we'll look at the goniometer. It's no left or right, it's just, and the correlation meter isn't even showing. So this is a mono file that's showing as stereo because they panned. Now, it's not a big deal, but it's easier to change it for me so I know exactly where I am. So what we've got to do, we also know it's stereo because here it shows a stereo track and here it shows a stereo track. So the first thing we're going to do is find these tracks that we don't need and change them to mono. So first thing I'm going to do is solo this track, and I'm going to click on that to turn it to mono. So you can click on that switch between mono and stereo. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is, at the moment it's being sent to stereo out, and what I'm going to do is going to change that and go to output mono, output 1. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is highlight the track. Okay, highlight the track, file, bounce track in place, replace track, and it's replaced the track with a mono file. Okay, and that's how you do that.